selam. Salaten tedumu ve tühda iley. Memere leyali ve tunet devam. Allahümme salli ve sellim ala Nebina Muhammed aleyhisselam. Salaten tedumu ve tühda ileyhi memere leyali ve tulet devam. Allahümme salli ve sellim ala Nebina Muhammed aleyhisselam. Salaten tedumu ve tühda ileyhi memere leyali ve tulet devam. Muhammeden Resulullah. Tarikatına asfahla hayruhi cemiya.
We ask for heavenly support from our Grand Sheikh and all friends of God, that they shall accompany us on our journey, to wisdom, to the oceans of wisdom. That they let us dive into the oceans of wisdom. Who doesn't ask why, how, and when? Those who know why and how and when, they won't ask. Why do they ask? Why do they ask how, when, and why? When something bad is happening to them. If there's something coming to them and that is good, that they feel good about, they don't ask so many questions about it. But if something is happening to them that they don't quite like, immediately they start to ask why, how, and when, and what. And ask myself, what kind of compassion is that? Why not her? Why not him? Why me? If there would be compassion, what kind of compassion is that? And then someone comes along, just like the Sheikh does. So why not you? So why not? Who are you? What are you? Are you God? Are you His goddess? His graciousness? His divinity? Who has been born into this world will have to experience lots of things. We have to go through many stuff. And most of them is that he doesn't like, stuff that he doesn't want to have. And most of the case, and always, that is actually teaching him patience. And the Lord is only with the patient ones. The Lord is only with those who are patient. The opposite is the Lord is never with those who are impatient. So, what good news for those who are patient. And those who never had to endure impatience should and have to cry just for that. Why not? Why me? Why not me? Where is there no calamity happening to me? Why is nothing happening to me? So that I can show patience. And if I am patient and have proven my patience, the Lord is with me. So why is the Lord not with me? That is why the Lord is not with me, because you are not patient enough. Now such a secret is opening itself to us for those who are always with their Lord. Those who want to be with the Lord non-stop. They have to be one of those who are patient. And Allah said, I'm going to send you into this world, all you people. And you will be put on trial, but with what? With patience. If you're with me or not with me. So this is like a different window about what it means to be patient, what the trial of patience is. So what is a trial? What does a test mean? What is it tied to, connected to? It's connected to patience. So no test, no patience. No patience, no test. And Allah says, I am with the patient ones. Which means, in brackets, like this, only. I am only with those who are patient. There are those 99 names, it continues. And at the very end, it ends with as-sabur, the patient ones. Everything. And then the Lord himself tells about him, he says, I am the patient one. I am the most patient. And the Lord is his shadow on earth, as that's what it's supposed to be. So he has to make that title a part of himself, to be patient. And then it's all perfect, to be the true shadow on earth. If you don't want to be patient here, you have to learn to be patient in your grave. Every one of us has to go through a test of patience and have to go through patience and have to have learned to be patient. It's not just like you're dead and then you're in heaven and everything's over. We are still here on this earth. And your time and grave is a time of waiting and a world in between here and hereafter. And you're not in the hereafter, you're still stuck in here, but underneath the earth. And when you're being resurrected, you're still on earth. Resurrection will be here on this planet Earth. So it won't be so fast for you to continue on. So in the grave, you will have to learn to be patient if you haven't learned it already up above ground. So if you haven't learned it here on earth, you will have to learn it when you are resurrected, because so much time to be patient. So at first, billions of people, maybe 40 billions, came from Adam alayhi salam until the end of time, until the last soul of a human being came and went. They all gonna be questioned and have to justify themselves, every one of them. And you have to wait until it's your turn. And so who will be put on trial first? So for you not to wait so long. If you want to be one of those who are in the first row that have to justify themselves, who are those who are standing in the first row? Allah says to a herald, cry out loudly the names of the patient ones. Oh, you who have been patient, you are first to come. you don't have to show any patience anymore. You've been patient enough. You come first now. And then justification is just one eye, one flick of an eye, and suddenly everything is gone already. Oh, you who've been grateful, that were always grateful and thankful and never ingrateful, and always said, Shukr, Ya Rabbi, Alhamdulillah, thanks to Allah. Come, you are next to go to paradise. Those who've been so patient and grateful here on earth, they will not let them suffer. He will not let them suffer anymore. They don't have to be put on trial for patience and go directly to paradise. And those who've been so impatient have to wait until the end. And those who've been ungrateful as well have to wait until the end. And they had to wait for all those billions of people to come. And those waiting years will be 1,000 years of waiting. So 1 year of waiting in Resurrection Day, it's going to be 1,000 years in worldly years. You're not impatient. If you're being impatient here, we're going to teach you to be patient, because in the hereafter, you will always be with me. Without me, there's nothing to be. So you have to learn to know patience, either on earth, underneath earth, or at the last point when there's the Resurrection Day. So it's not a reincarnation, but it's resurrection. That's the difference. Allah will teach you to be patient, if you want to or not. You have to wait. Always have to, until He decides when it's time. And if you're impatient, He will even stop time for you. And it's on you actually. Prolong the time to be patient with you actually being impatient. So you don't turn it into a positive, but you're actually being more negative if you're always whining, always complaining. Why, how, and when me and not them? And then you don't even have any compassion for them. Our path, the path of the grand sheikhs, the saints that tell you always in their praise, make us that the hell is so big, and make my body even bigger and bigger, that only I get to go into hell and nobody else will find any space to be in there. These are the prayers of our grand sheikhs. Those are oceans of neighborly love and compassion for us, and we are on the level, why me? Why not him? Why is it happening to me? Why is it not happening to them? All the pain, all the problems are their fault, and it's on them. But please don't let it happen to me now. So let's learn some compassion now. Let's start with that. Say, oh Lord, if there is something bad going to happen that's supposed to happen to some, let it happen to me, not the other person. Leave my neighbor alone. Let my neighbor live in peace and blessing and health and with no problems, but send it all to me. So where's that kind of person? Tell me. They are there. These are the saints. And if you don't say it voluntarily, out of your own account, just like with like a sister of ours who's always like, why me? Why it's happening? And she maybe has to suffer for somebody else, for another sister of ours, but she doesn't know. Believers are suffering alongside. It's not the same as Jesus did. That's kind of, as calamity is coming down, so much bad stuff are happening. And the believers, and among the believers, according to the level of faith, that bad stuff is being divided, so that from those 100% that has caused that bad stuff, that only 10% are happening to them. And that person was supposed to be hit by 100% of calamities, and through the mercy of God and the saints are going to keep those 100% to them, but because he will be obliterated, put down to pieces. But through the prayers of the saints, I'd say, oh Allah, please let him live on so that maybe he can do some good. So that only 10% are hitting him. And then he might come to his senses, like, why did this happen to me? Maybe I did something wrong. This why is better. That question to ask, like, why is it happening to me? Like, how, when, and what? Because of me. You take on the blame and to try to find out where I did something wrong. And don't put it on the other. Don't blame it on others. I might have done something bad. So where did it go wrong? And to think actually about that, those 10% are really important. And those 90% of calamities are still being divided over among the believers. But I don't want to take on this bad person's calamities. That's what's supposed to be open. That is why you don't know about it. But you actually get the blessing through that, the grace of God. So at the day of Judgment Day, that blessing is going to give you enjoyment, and you will realize, goodness, it's good that I suffered for others so that I wouldn't have been hit so hard. And now I even was blessed through that. So on earth, in this world, all that bad is happening will bring blessing to you on the day of resurrection, and you will rejoice so much, like wisdom and pieces of wisdom, how, where, and when. Don't think about that. Like, just say, oh Lord, whatever I did wrong, I might have done wrong, consciously or unconsciously, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive me. Just say that. That is actually showing good manners. Every night you should do that. And the Lord wants to hear that. Patience is the foundation of earthly living, of living on this earth. In paradise, Adam a.s. and Eva a.s. didn't need any patience. What for? Because everything was there already. Patience means to wait. Waiting for something and to share and to heal. And patience is actually the most bitterest, most bitter medicine of all. And of all problems, patience is the best remedy, but it's the most bitter one. And a Sheikh said, patience is like this really big thorn. As if you have to swallow that big thorn, and it goes through the intestines and your organs, and it tears apart your intestines. But you are keeping quiet and say nothing. You don't complain, you don't even say ouch. And you don't say one word or sound comes from you. But you stand still and show patience. Until you have no intestines. That could actually hurt. Patience. And that's what patience is all about. And it's the most bitter. And it hurts. But it's the remedy of all against all your sorrows and problems. So the foundation of life on earth is patience. The foundation of creation is patience. So why did Allah Azza wa Jalla why did he create this existence or creation in 6 days? Like he got so tired after 6 days that he felt tired and fell asleep and took a nap maybe? Tövbe ya Rabbi, may he forgive us. They think like what they are themselves, but he is not like that. He doesn't have any toilet. He has not to go to the loo. And he's never getting tired either. So in 6 days he created everything. Why? in 6 days. It's just for us to understand the problem. Maybe it was 6 billion years. So why? It's just a period of time for us to imagine, like, and there is kun fayakun, like, it could happen in that, like everything in an instant. But why 6 days? Why did he do that? Did he needed that? No. But he is the patient one. And why in this timelessness where there was no time, he actually took his time. Where he needed any time, and there no time even existed, he actually took his time. Do you understand what I mean? And or how I explain it to you? So it's just a metaphor. So 6 days. You could have even said everything was just like here. It could have happened that, like, how? Once he destroyed all of this existence, everything is dead, only him, he is the ever alive. Even the death angel did harakiri and killed himself. He's dead as well. Boom. And then again, boom, everything's back. He isn't going to need 6 days. This is for us to understand. All that's good takes time. And needs that time. So what is time? Time it's a way to describe a process of ripening, of maturity. So it's a sign of to mature for us. Those fruits at the tree. So how does that fruit on the tree even ripe, find maturity? It has to wait until the stings of the sun, those hot stings of the sun and rays of light, that is fire to it. So it's fire. Don't you agree? But fire makes the fruit, makes it ripe and gives it some sweetness from something that is bitter, and in the beginning turns it into sweetness. And then there's also time. Well, it still needs some time. That one sister once told me that those pears, for the pear to shine, it takes some time. For the pear to turn sweet, it takes some time, maybe 2 more months, and then it's time. And we still have to wait. I wanted to have eaten it already, but I have to wait for another 2 months. So what a test of patience, waiting for 2 months for that pear, for the pear to be ready to be eaten. And you have to be patient. Think about it. Everything is connected to patience, and nothing in this world without any patience. Until you have taken off your jacket, like, you need patience. Unknowingly, you have to be patient, because usually the human being is so in haste and wants to do everything as soon as fast, but the jacket doesn't get off that fast. So he has to take those seconds to take off his jacket. Everything is connected to patience, but you are just not conscious about it. Only when pain is coming, suffering, then you suddenly realize there is patience. Oh, goodness, patience. It's part of our life, and it has to become a part of your life, even if you want to or not. I'm thirsty. Give me some water. And I have to wait for them to bring me water. Why not instantly? In paradise, it's instantly. In paradise, everything happens now. Just as it's been heard, it's going to be done. As wished, it's going to come. In paradise, there is no time, no period of time. Everything is happening in that instant. So wait. That time, that way of living, if you show some patience and maybe have got some chance and even tried hard and put in some effort and prayed for it to Allah, that He shall give us that chance and possibility in this lifespan. Even in this life, we will experience that life of paradise, where everything's going to happen in that instant. You wish and you get it immediately. and then you are everywhere at the same time. So, and you would be there everywhere, as an original, everywhere, with body and soul. And everywhere you can experience everything at the same time. And it will be made possible for us. And then you don't need any patience anymore. It's not needed anymore. But patience is a way to mature you, and it's part of your process, and it's part of your development. So your spiritual development, you don't want that, leave me alone. I want to have what's the worldly goodness too with the spiritual one. My Sheikh told me don't do it. In your heart there's only one throne to sit down on. Like two people on one throne doesn't work like that. The world and paradise here and hereafter at the same point, at the same time, it's impossible. Either want to have the material part and the spiritual part, but both parts on one throne doesn't work. You have to decide. He told me, my Sheikh. If you want to have me, you have to let go of everything else. Your children and wife and everything and job, everything, you have to leave it. And there's only him. And that is part of the trial and of the test, and you always have to be patient. Everything, all the foundation of your life on earth is being plastered with plasters of patience. And you're standing on it. Knowingly, unknowingly. Everything, all time that's happening, that's taking, is patience. If you're talking about time, patience is included. But because you're not suffering that so much and don't feel it anymore, you don't see that there's patience and time connected. As time is actually patient, and patience is time. And everything will pass. Even that time of pain will pass. May Allah give us good understanding. And that's how they let us reveal it to you. And those who cannot do that will have to learn once they are 6 feet under, and they have to wait in the waiting room. And when it is time, when there's resurrection day, I wanted to have been resurrected yesterday and still waiting. Once there is resurrection, like when it's time for me to go to front, until I know where I belong. We'll keep on waiting. Now, at first, the patient ones can pass. Then those who are grateful will pass. And then those who are almost grateful. And then the almost patient and the almost grateful and the almost patient one will gonna pass it. And so on and so on and so on. And you're sweating and sweating and sweating, and the sun is so close, like this lamp on the ceiling. And you will bathe in your sweat. And it's not going to be like that in Christianity and Judaism, and you're dead and suddenly you are in paradise and are wafting and swaying like an angel. But no, we still got to experience a lot in this world, in this planet. May Allah make it easy and not hard. Patience. For those who are patient and grateful, everything was going to be like one blink of an eye. And in that time lapse, it's going to happen. Even it might have taken 50,000 years of life. You won't have experienced that. Like, and you suddenly realize 50,000 years have passed. Like with me, like 60 years have passed. Like when? I was just born, I say. How did I turn 60 already? And everything is gone. And that is the time of fastness. And you wouldn't have understood. And you suddenly stand in front of your Lord and suddenly you are in paradise. May Allah make us one of those patients. And may Allah give us the right and the good understanding and make us one of those who are patient. So that we shall always be with Him.
Allahu